And welcome back, everyone. So, with my animation, I decided to do a lot of just random videos, just to get them out of the way. Ideas I wanted to do, but because of my schedule, time, all that, it makes it very hard to do any extra videos. But because I have the free time, I can do it. And this is an idea I've had for a little bit. Pretty simple, but it's an idea that I think a lot of us kind of think up. And that's the fact that Game Freak has really squandered a lot of the potential when it comes to designs for Pokemon. And I'm not just saying, like, say, Mousehold, for example. I don't like Mousehold's design very much. It looks, but it's actually based off toys. But it doesn't mean it's a good design, in my opinion. I don't personally think, concept-wise, it's good. The execution, I don't like. Other things like Bruxish, I get, it looks like a Pokemon. Don't love it, per se. But then others, like, say, Turtonator there. A Matamata Fire Dragon Turtle. That's awesome. Venusaur is a classic. If we're just looking at guys in this picture right here. The Phalanx, little Spartan soldiers, that's pretty cool. Venusaur is a classic. Togekiss is a sentient flying fairy kite. I love it. There's good and bad designs, but there's designs that we expect or thought Game Freak would have done, and they either haven't or they have just done very little with these concepts. For example, it took us till Gen 9. 9 generations and over 20 years of Pokemon until we got our first effing dolphin Pokemon. And then you give us Palafin. That's kind of inexcusable. Like Finizen. Finizen is perfect. It is literally perfect. Palafin is problematic, to say the least. There's some people who like it. And not to mention that it's very clear, if you've seen the videos, that some of these ideas were clearly taken from people and just altered, so they didn't have to get them any rights or money or credit or whatever. And look, Game Freak, you do you, but look, most of us in this community legit would not give a damn if you would not give a damn if you use those designs. They really wouldn't. The fact that their design got to be an official Pokemon, and you can just say, and honestly, you can even have a little Easter egg in the game to find out who designed those Pokemon, or just, have a fan thing or whatever. You know how many people would love you for that, Game Freak? Listen to me right now. Don't get me wrong, there are people who want to be compensated for their work, and, rightfully so, to some degree. They put time and effort into that. But let's be honest. Most of us would just be over the moon just to see our designs, put into actual Pokemon. But it got me thinking, what are some animals or designs or concepts that have not been used yet or have just been underused? So that's going to just be a multi-part series, and I don't know if I'll ever stop doing it. When I say multi-part, it's just going to be, hey, part 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to only do 5 animals or creatures or items per. So let's just get into it. And starting things off really quick here, how is it we only got one kind of kangaroo Pokemon? Now, Kangaskhan is very much a kangaroo. It's in the name. Kangaroo, Kangaskhan. It's a kangaroo. All right, fair enough. It's got the pouch. It's a kangaroo. Okay, fine. But let's not mince words. While Kangaskhan is a kangaroo, Kangaskhan's not a kangaroo. That is about the only thing you did was make a bipedal pouch Pokemon with Kang. That's it. Other than that, my friends, is not a freaking kangaroo. That is a weird dinosaur kangaroo hybrid. And that's fine, whatever. And look, to be fair, I know Mon that should be in their own specific type of region, say like Espathra or Espathra. The ostrich Pokemon should be in an African region. Same with the Scarab Pokemon. Those should be in an African region. Pyro should be in an African region. But they're not. So you can introduce a kangaroo in a different region. I get it. But if we're ever getting the Australian region, it makes sense, fair enough, that that's where a kangaroo Pokemon should be. So, but you gave us a damn koala in Hawaii, so you know what? Even though I understand the logic, you've broken the logic, Game Freak. So why after 9 generations we don't have an actual kangaroo Pokemon? Not quite sure. Really don't know why not. Speaking of which, natural species that we've gotten a little representation for, but not nearly enough. Bats. Oh, that bat. There we go. Bats. How is it that in the entirety of 9 generations, over 1,000 Pokemon, we have the Golbat line, Swoobat line, and if you want to get technical, Lunala. And if you want to get technical, Noibat. Noibat, sure, I'll give you that. Noibat is technically a bat. But you know what it also actually really is a Noivern. It's a Wyvern. It's a damn dragon. It just happens to look like a bat. But you know what? Look, you got the Golbat line, Gen 1. Crobat's added, Gen 2. Fine, great, wonderful. You go 2 gens, you give a Swoobat. Okay, nobody really likes Swoobat that much. Then, next generation, you give us Noibat. We're now 3 generations out after that, and still no new bat? This is particularly annoying when you have concepts like a vampire bat, a hammer-nosed bat. You ever see one of those guys? That's huge. Flying foxes, fruit bats, a grass bat Pokemon, fruit bat. That is so easy to do, Game Freak. It's ridiculous. I've heard people say that the next starter should be a bat. You did an owl. That makes sense to me. A grass bat Pokemon as your starter? That makes complete sense. So I don't know why Game Freak is kind of slow on the roll for this. Now, to be fair, when it comes to different types of bats you can do, I will admit the variety pool is a little slim. It's not like other Mon that we'll get to actually very soon on this list. That okay, I can understand why you maybe take your time. Maybe, for example, do like a concept with the creature to make it at least somewhat unique. But I don't know. I don't think there's a big enough excuse. Speaking of which, do you know how many deer Pokemon there are? Stantler in its evolution Weirdeer. Okay, fine. You've got Sawsbuck and Deerling. Okay, cool. Xerneas, great. Anything else? I've heard some people say Virizion is technically a deer. That's debatable. I find that really debatable. How hard is it? Look, you do a normal type Mon every, your regional early route, quote unquote, now that we're open world. Rodent or mammal. We had Lechonk this generation. The last generation it was, who was the last generation? Did we have one last generation? Generation 8? I'm actually not sure if we had like a regional rodent or not. No, it was Squoval line and Grubbin. Yeah, or not Grubbin, but Greedent. That was your regional rodents there. You had the Yangoose line for Gen 7. You had the Bunnelby line for Gen 6. You had the Lillipup and Patrat line in Gen 5. You had the the Babero line in Gen 4. You had the Zigzagoon line in Gen 3. You have the Centret line and the Rattata. A deer as an early route Pokemon makes so much sense, it's kind of nuts. And unlike, say, with the bat, reindeer, elk, you ever seen a Mujak deer, the deer with fangs? There's the deer that has the little pipey nostrils. There's standard spotted deer, which is kind of what Sawsbuck and Deerling are based off. Moose, there's a lot more deer you can go with than you can, say, bats in terms of variety, and do some cool things. I mean, you made a legendary deer, great, but what else? I don't know. It just seems like, especially the moose thing. The moose thing sticks out to me in my head because a moose should be a really easy concept, I think. Maybe they're saving that for a Canadian region. I don't know. But you want to know what I do know? Well, we still have multiple deer Pokemon and multiple bat Pokemon, as few as we have for the multiple, and how we only have the one faux Kangaroo Pokemon. How on God's green earth, with all these regions, and there's no excuse for saving it for a specific region, do we only have one Scorpion Pokemon, and it's not even a Scorpion throughout its entire run? Because I'm going to be very honest, Drapion, that's not a Scorpion. I mean, yes, it kind of is, but see, Skorupi right here. This is a Scorpion. It's their take on a Scorpion. This is a Scorpion. It's in the name, Skorupi. It's a Scorpion. I get that. Drapion, though, is, I guess, still kind of a Scorpion, but it's like a super monster Scorpion that doesn't really look much like a scorpion to me. Yes, actually, if you look at this design, like the arms coming directly out of its head is in line with a scorpion to a certain degree, but I've seen so many better done scorpions from fan artists before, and not even keeping the bug type really rubs me the wrong way on that. Because it's kind of just taking the whole point of the scorpion out of the equation then. Like, I don't really get it that much. Beyond that, I mean, which makes having a Bug Elite Four member with this Pokemon just kind of odd, because even though it started as a bug, it is no longer a bug, despite the fact it's still clearly a bug. And beyond that, we then go 5 generations beyond that with no excuses for why a Scorpion could be in any of these places. Like, look, Japan does have Scorpions, sure, but the first 4 regions are all Japan-based to begin with. So whatever the creature is based off of, hell, Donphan's an elephant. There are no elephants in Japan, unless they were, as far as I know, there aren't. There's Indian elephants, but I don't believe they ever ventured in Japan very much, if at all. So unless they're imported, I don't see the reason for there being an elephant there. There's no tigers, or no, that's not true. There are tigers, at least in China, and cultured tigers do play a significant. But the point being, Gen 4 introduced so many types of Pokemon in there that are not. Hell, there are no pandas in Kalos, and yeah, in France, and yet there's a panda in Kalos. So maybe Gen 10 is going to give us another Scorpion, maybe. But the fact that this is the only representation we have for a Scorpion, even taking Drapion out of it, because honestly, it's Scorpion by design, kind of, but not in its nature. So yeah, I don't really see the mindset here, Game Freak. I really don't. But you know what? I can even forgive a Scorpion, because you know what? Design-wise, a Scorpion could be a little difficult to do. I admit that. Like trying to convert something beyond this, saying it looks more like Scorpion, that could be a little difficult to do. Okay, you know what? It's fair. It's fair. But why? In 6 generations since we've had this Pokemon, have we only ever had one shark Pokemon? Sharpedo is our only shark Pokemon. When I talk about diversity in a species, do you have any freaking concept of how many unique types of shark Pokemon you could do? The only other technical shark Pokemon we have, and I mean technical, is Garchomp and the Gibbeline, because they're based technically off land sharks. And Garchomp has a slight hammerhead design, but it's more based on off a shark dragon and a plane. So it's a combination of things. But I'm talking about just straight sharks. First off, Sharpedo is really not designed off any specific type of shark, but if you want to get technical, because it is also based off a torpedo, hence Sharpedo, you could probably say it's based off a Mako shark, because Mako sharks are the fastest sharks. But that still leads us, in no particular order here, the great white shark. Do you know how the pun tiger shark, you could make a cat tiger shark in the vein of Garchomp, and that it would be happy. Bull shark, you knew something with that pun. Whale shark, which has so much design potential. Basking shark. You have the thresher shark, an actual hammerhead shark. Cookie cutter shark. Make a fairy water shark Pokemon as a cookie cutter. Hello. The Greenland shark, which is very weird and unique in its own right. You can make it kind of like, you can make that a water bug Pokemon. It has parasites on its eyes that turned it into a bug type. There is the Goblin Shark, which is weird as hell to look at. If you want to go fossil, you can go the Megalodon Shark. There's also the shark with like the curved jaw, which you can see in Subjectively's region, the South American, Central American based region. He did that, but you could still do that. Am I thinking you could add fluorescence into the shark to make it really cool? You combine sharks with different concepts. There is really kind of an endless possibility with sharks compared to any other species I've done on this list. Really and truly there is. And yet we have one shark and one fake shark. And that's it in 9 generations. Game Proof. That's just unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. Like, seriously. Why? You literally gave a... Okay, Sharpedo was introduced in Hoenn. That's a very water-heavy region. Sinnoh, not so much water-heavy. I can completely understand that. I can even understand Unova, even though there's enough shark attacks and shark species off the American coast, you could have added one. Kalos has... Kalos I can even get behind, but how do you not do a new shark Pokemon in Alola? How do you not do a new shark Pokemon in Alola? How do you not do a new shark Pokemon in Paldea? The amount of water and ocean covering Paldea, like, seriously? Seriously. Alola's the real unforgivable one for me. You could have done any concept and you just didn't, you did jack shit. That's it. I'm not someone who really craps on Pokemon games very much. I'll tell you what I don't like about a Pokemon game, but if I'm being flat on honest, in terms of the main generation games, I actually didn't play the first generation. I didn't play Generation 1. But I for Soul Silver. Pokemon Silver was the first Pokemon game I ever got. Loved that game. I'm actually a huge... Hoenn's still my favorite region. I loved Ruby. Loved it. That was back before I was really using the internet, so finding new Mon was still really cool to me. And I'm like, how do I evolve this thing? This is really cool. And then the internet came like, I'm getting spoiled and everything, but I don't care. I'm actually not as big on Sinnoh. I like Sinnoh quite a bit, but I'm not as big on Gen 4 as a lot of other people are. And Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was just kind of a meh of a game. But I still liked the first Diamond very much. I still played it through it the first time all the way. And I've replayed it multiple times. I am a big Unova fan. I like X and Y. X and Y is fine. I like it. I liked Alola the first time around, but the lack of gym challenges really felt weird. Galar, I like more than a lot of other people, but I've only replayed it a couple times. I am considering doing another replay of it, though, just because I'm like, I kind of want to play with a Yamper. I want to play with a Boltund on my team. I want to play with a Salazzle or a Centiskorch on my team. I want to play with those guys. So I got to replay again. So I'm thinking about doing that, but and I liked Scarlet and Violet very much, and those DLCs really added something. I actually really liked playing through those quite a bit. I've only replayed through it once, and not even fully at this point. But I definitely enjoyed myself when I was playing through it the first time. So I like all the Pokemon games, but I can still find fault with them. And one of the faults right now is how come I don't have more goddamn shark Pokemon? I don't know. Regardless, though, that's my gripe. What are some Pokemon designs that you wish they've implemented either more of or just in general? I'll be doing more of these series as time goes on, leading up to Pokemon AZ and the next Gen 10 game and all that. Just because I'm like, I want to see more of these designs. I think I'll probably do one where, I think I did a fossil video at one point. I think I'm going to redo a fossil video as one of the next ones. This was just a general one, but I think I'll actually focus on certain subjects. For example, types of water Pokemon or types of fire or fossil Pokemon, legendary Pokemon that we haven't gotten. Item-based Pokemon. I think I'll do certain topics, but for right now, this is just a general video series to start out with. But again, let me know in the comments below what are some Pokemon that you want to see more variations on, or just want to see Pokemon of. Let me know in the comments below. But until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.